What's going on, everybody? My name is Chris, and welcome to the NY0 Hour, where we will go over the Mets, Knicks, Rangers, and Giants. That's all on this podcast. No other New York teams. That's all that will be here. So, if you like those teams, go ahead and give us a subscribe, like it, follow, whatever. Now, let's get into the game last night. Episode of this podcast. So things may be a little hectic, but you gotta talk about how hectic that Mets game was last night, because oh my, did we put a beating on the Yankees. Absolutely nuts. Of course I get into the car and that's when Alvarez hits the home run, so I get the notification. I'm like, man, every time it always happens. So, anyway, Lindor started off the game with another leadoff double. That dude is on fire from the leadoff spot. I can't believe it. I've always been a big fan of him ever since he was even in Cleveland. Part of that's probably Puerto Rican bias, but I don't care. He's awesome. He's always been awesome, to me at least. I know he's had his ups and downs with this team, but we know what he's capable of. We've seen what he can do, especially right now from that leadoff spot. He's batting, I forget, but it was like over 330 at least, just from being in that leadoff spot. So good change, big change, definitely needed, especially with how the lineup has been changed around too. Putting Nimmo back at 2, Pete back at 4 now. Changing it up, and it's working. It's clearly working right now. And that even showed when JD Martinez started us off tonight with bringing in Lindor in the third inning. And from then on, it just piled on from the Mets. He had that rain delay that we went into with runners on second and third and 1 out. Tyrone Taylor got on base. Then Mark Vientos, earlier in this game, had the walk to bring in that run from third. And we just kept going from there. Tyrone Taylor, the next inning, 3-run shot, which I didn't even think was going out. I saw him hit that ball. I was like, oh, okay, it's probably at least a hit. But no, that went over the wall, 3-run home run. And we didn't stop there either. But Aaron Judge, once again, hit another home run to put a little bit of a damper on things. But that didn't seem to matter, because we ended up scoring 5 more runs to make the final score 12-2. Even in the 9th, we got another one thanks to Vientos, who has been playing out of his mind, especially with that bat. 2 home runs the other night against Garrett Cole, which, wow, for being a young guy, being able to do that against Garrett Cole. I know, obviously, in the last 2 starts since he has come back, he hasn't been the exact same, and, who's gonna after coming off an injury. But still, that's an accomplishment, I'm sure, for Vientos to write down and remember. But, yeah, piled on the runs, and we just kept going. Harrison Bader had a couple RBIs plus that home run, so it's back-to-back days for him with a home run. And like I said before, sadly, Judge also back-to-back days with home runs. But, again, didn't matter. 12-2 is the final score. Manaea rough beginning, and they said on the broadcast on SNY, it's crazy how identical the first innings of both games were, except we didn't get a run in the first this time. But so yeah, Manaea 5 walks, didn't give up any runs, had to come out of the game because of the rain delay being almost 2 hours, I believe. Then yeah, Danny Young comes in. He does give up that home run to Aaron Judge, which then they bring in Adam Ottavino, who made me very nervous coming into this game, because the first game against the Yankees, he set up that grand slam for Judge. I don't know what's been up with him. I know he's a little older now. I don't know. But he had a really good outing for his standards, I'd say. No, he's had a good outing because he finished the inning all good, nothing, no runs, kept it clean. And then Adrian Hauser, all of a sudden, we got to talk about that, because the fact that he is pitching so much better in relief is crazy to even think about, because of how he started the year. Being a starter on the Mets, he was a mess. And that's saying that lightly. I would put on the games and see he's pitching. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be not a fun day. But in relief, you see him come on, you're like, okay, we'll get through this. Maybe a run or two, but we'll get through this. It's crazy. His ERA is, a couple numbers different, which is nuts. But he ended up getting a 3-inning save, which I don't remember ever hearing that being said. But yeah, he got the job done, clean, 3 innings. Obviously gave up a couple of hits, but what are you going to do? It's the Yankees. They still have the players they have, even though their lineup is top heavy right now, at least. They don't have Rizzo, but he hasn't been playing well either. So yeah, I mean, Jeff McNeil for us, I personally think his days are numbered. I don't know how much longer he has on this team, just because of his inconsistency. Even when he hits a couple games, that's it. It's like a hit. I think he had a hit the other night, and that's it. Jose Iglesias has been playing better when he gets the time to. So I know McNeil has been our starting guy, and Mendoza sees that and wants to keep that and try and boost his confidence in any way. But it's not working, which is unfortunate, but it's not working. McNeil is now batting almost 200, I think. Let's see. Oh, I can't type. Let's see. Jeff McNeil. It's not even telling me. Thanks, Google. Okay. Well, it doesn't want to tell me. Oh, that's why. I'm an idiot. Jeff McNeil this year is batting 213. 213 when a couple seasons ago he was the batting champ. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what he needs to do. I don't know what the team needs to do. Well, I do, but who knows if they'll do it? Who knows if they'll get rid of him? Who knows if they'll trade him? Who knows if anybody's going to trade for him with how he's been playing? We know what he's capable of, and obviously the league does, but is he going to be able to ever bring that back? I don't know. This New York Post article is titled Jeff McNeil showing slight signs of breaking long slump. I don't know. Because now it's to the point where I can't even trust him to come up to bat, especially in a situation that would need some runs or anything just to get on base. Just getting on base is tough to even consider for him right now. Iglesias, in his time that he has played, he's had multi-hit games. His defense has been pretty good. And I know they're testing out Beatty in Syracuse at second base. He played that last night. And according to their box score, there's no errors, so he didn't make an error, at least. But we'll get to Beatty in a couple minutes. But what I think this team needs to do right now, just keep it up. I think Iglesias needs to come in, play a couple games this series, because one, I think the confidence with his song coming out, which you may think sounds crazy, but I'm a musician myself, so I know the days songs come out, you're in a better mood, you're in a positive, hype mood. Go check out my band, Strange Authority. Cheap plug, but doesn't matter. Those days are always hype. The team is hype around him right now, not just because of the song. Well, actually, a good chunk because of the song, because they're playing it as a home run song. They have a celebration now. They're playing it in the clubhouse after wins. So they're surrounding him and making him feel good. And McNeil doesn't feel that at all right now. So we'll see what happens. And with that, and then with Marte going down, Tyrone Taylor has to get most of those starts in right field. Clearly, because he hit that home run last night. He had an RBI the other night, at least one. But he is hitting way better and way more clutch right now than DJ Stewart. DJ Stewart is batting under 200, I believe. Let's see. Let's check. Let's see. Yeah. No. Yes. He's batting 189. DJ Stewart is batting 189 right now. So, obviously, he's got a little more pop than Tyrone Taylor, but Tyrone Taylor still has that pop. So, I want him in there as much as possible. Ben Gamel, I don't know your game, dude. That's on me. But if he'll be a better option than DJ Stewart, put him in that lineup. Put him in that lineup if Nimmo needs a day, which I don't think so, especially with how he's been hitting too. But, we'll see. These guys know what to do. So let's go look over a little bit what's been going on with the farm system. Last night, the Cyclones took the L, but that's not due to their starting pitcher, Jonah Tong. Jonah Tong had 11 Ks. 11 Ks. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 3 hits. The bullpen imploded to lose them that game by 2 runs. Still, he had a really good outing that got wasted. And he didn't pick up the win or a loss. So, it's a win-lose, I guess, for him. Binghamton, their game was postponed to tomorrow. So, tomorrow they'll be playing a doubleheader. But today, they got Nolan McLean, the two-way player, going on the mound. I don't know how to feel about him on the mound right now. His ERA is 6.93. and he's 0-4. I know his bat is something to talk about, but if he wants to make it as a two-way player, he's really got to fix this pitching side of it, because that won't work. That's not going to work for us on the major league team. Going to Syracuse now. Brett Beatty, another game with a home run, but make that 2. He had 2 home runs yesterday. One late in the game to solidify the win. I don't get it. Really don't get it. It really makes no sense to me. Why? He cannot translate this to the major league level. Like I may have said before, he's another piece that can just replace McNeil. I know his hitting hasn't been the same at the major league level, but still better than what McNeil's been producing. And at least Beatty has more pop than McNeil does. So we'll see. I know Acuna has played second base too. I don't think he's there yet. I would personally choose Beatty to come up before Acuna to really test that out first. Test out how Beatty can be at second base at the major league level if he can get back into a groove with hitting, because he started the year really well. And it just went downhill from there, especially with I'm sure the thought of his buddy Vientos coming up and doing better than him. And clearly Vientos took not getting the starting job for at least DH. He took that personally. He lit it up in AAA to start the year. That's why he's here. And look what he's doing now. I would take a move I could see the Mets doing if they are going to be sellers at the deadline. I could see them getting rid of JD Martinez. I know, that'd be crazy. But why keep him around if we're selling and not allow Vientos and Beatty to get time? Let the young guys come up. Let them help themselves while trying to help the team. Because I would then stick Vientos at DH every day and put Beatty at third. Beatty's defense right now is a tier at least above Vientos' defense. We've seen what Beatty can do. Yeah, sometimes he makes some mistakes. Vientos has made some mistakes. But Beatty's defense has taken a couple steps up from the past 2 seasons that we've seen him play some major league time. So we'll see. Beatty, I really hope you figure it out. I've been a big fan of you since seeing you with the Rumble Ponies. The game I did see him play the Somerset Patriots, which is close to me, he hit 2 home runs in the 2 innings that were played that night because the Rumble Ponies just piled on. It was, I believe, this was 2 years ago, so probably wrong, but I believe it was 10-2 in the second inning. I don't think Ronnie Mauricio did anything in that game because that's when he was also there. And Alvarez was lighting it up in AAA. But that was also right before Beatty got called up to AAA and then a week later getting called up to the majors. So I still believe in Beatty. I believe in what he can do and what he can bring to this team. So yeah, Luis Angel Acuna played center field last night for the Syracuse Mets. 2 hits and RBI. He did get caught stealing. That's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. because we know what he's capable of. Him and Ronald were going at it back and forth I think they had a bet with each other at who can have more stolen bases last season. Obviously, Ronald won that. But for a while, they were close. When they were at 40 and 40-something, they were close. I saw Luis Angel Acuna last year and Drew Gilbert when they were with Binghamton. And that was when they first came over, too. So that was one of their first few games with the new club. So it's cool. It's cool that I can do that with the Somerset Patriots, even though they're the Yankees affiliation. That the Rumble Ponies come here every year, and I can see the guys as they come up. So definitely going to keep doing that. Definitely going to go this year. They come in August. And hopefully see Ryan Clifford hit a home run. So, yeah. Definitely going to be a tough series for the Major League team coming up. The Astros have been playing better as of late, which is now crazy because I know they started off not like the Astros. But we know what their lineup can do. They're scary. I'd still say, even not playing their best, they're still scary because they have all those pieces that can send one out of the park at any second. So I know we have Quintana, McGill, and Severino. Those are our pitchers for this weekend. Going to be a tough test, especially for McGill, because out of the three of them, he has not been playing the greatest. Quintana is still spotty, but his last few starts, he's been playing better, especially his last one. But Severino pitching really well for us. He's another piece I could see them getting rid of if we do sell at the deadline. But right now, we're not there. We're in June. The Grimace Mets are still a thing. I hope we can come out of June still playing the same, because we all remember the August, September a few years ago when we went on a big winning streak, and then it all went down the drain. So we'll see. Hopefully we can keep this consistent. Bats are looking great. Pitching is okay. On the better side of okay, I'd say. Bullpen, same. Especially now we're extra short on people. Drew Smith on the IL. From what I heard, it's an arm strain. Maybe. I don't know. And then Diaz is out still for another 8 games, which that blows because, definitely wouldn't have come in the last 2 games. Maybe the game the other night, but we'll see. Hopefully the Astros are dead this weekend. Their bats are dead. Probably not for at least one game, I'd say. But other than that, thank you for checking in to this first episode of the NY 0 Hour podcast. I'm Chris. Once again, we are here for the Mets, Knicks, Rangers, and Giants. That is it. No other New York teams will be talked about here unless we play them or something dumb happens with them, because then I'll bring it up. But yeah, with this podcast, I'll probably be, for the Mets, putting out episodes either in between a series or at the end of a series to go over what happened in those games. And for right now, Knicks, Rangers, Giants. That's all just going to be news that comes up. So I will be shortly recording a video audio